Internet searching is probably where you'll start first when you begin your footprinting exercise against an organization or a person. Now, internet searching is very easy. We do it all the time in our daily lives these days. And again, that's where footprinting really starts. What you do is you're going from the general to the specific. So the first thing you do in the general sense is to go ahead and do internet searches on a particular target. This could be a company name, this could be an individual's name, this could be any number of search terms that relate to the target that you're after. Now, obviously you would use different search engines because you may get different results with each one of them. So try Google, Bing, Yahoo, and you'll find that by and large you'll get the same results, but they may be ordered differently. The other thing I would tell you is dig deeper than just the first few pages. You may get 50,000 hits in a general search like this. And those are typically the most popular results, meaning that's what people have searched on the most. So the statistics have been driven up to the number 1, 2, 3, and even the 100th place. But those may not contain the information you're really looking for about the organization. There may be pages buried in there that have good information on them that aren't searched as regularly or aren't looked at. The other thing about internet searching is don't just limit to search engines. Obviously, there's a wide variety of other tools you can use when we're footprinting. We're talking about people searches, obviously, like Zaba, Intellus, and so forth. Some of these are free and some of these are paid. And you'll find if you run several of them, even if it's the free ones, you'll get a little bit different information every time. And in some cases, they will cross-reference each other or cross-check each other, and you can actually glean information from using several of them at once. In one search engine, for example, you might get half of an address. In another search engine, you might get the other half or another piece of the puzzle. So do that with multiple search engines, even with the people searches. Obviously, social media is a big one. That's where you're going to look at what people have out on their blog sites, their personal websites, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so forth, and hit all of these. And not just about the person, although we typically associate social media with a person. Organizations, companies, and so forth now have their own Facebook page, for example. You'll also find their own personal websites for employees. That's what you're looking for. Anything related to the organization and its people during footprinting. LinkedIn is a very popular professional site where you'll find all manners of professionals out there, IT people, doctors, lawyers, and so forth. And a lot of these profiles are public, but obviously if you really want to get to the specifics about a profile, you may have to create an account because some of these are not visible in normal searches to the public, or they may only show you a little bit of information. So definitely get a LinkedIn account, probably want to get a Facebook account and so forth. But check all of these different internet search sites, social media, blogs, personal websites, and also look at partner websites. When you do general search terms on the company, you may come up with partners that the company has worked with and done business with. So you'll obviously want to go with one of those organizations as well. There's also obviously Google Earth and Bing Maps. You can use those to pinpoint the location of the company and its branch offices, get an idea of how they look. And this is actually the start of physical security penetration testing, because once you look at the location, you can kind of see the terrain. Maybe you can get a good enough photograph from Google Earth or Bing to give you an idea of the right ways to approach the facility, or any obstacles that might hide you, or just things of that nature. So those are obviously good types of searches to perform on an organization. Now, obviously all of this sounds very simple, but this is where you start. Again, we go from the general to the specific, and footprinting is very general. Obviously, you wouldn't want to ignore the company sites, any business sites that may have information on them as well. There's also things like the Edgar database and the SEC database that will tell you general information about the company in terms of how long it's been in operation, maybe its CEO and executive staff, and so forth. So you really want to check out some of these sites as well. Let's go ahead and do a quick search on a company here and just look at generally how the information might be located and found. Okay, we're in Google. I'm just going to do a Google search on the Virtual Training Company. And that is VTC, and those are the folks who produce these training packages for you that you're looking at right now. And obviously there's a lot of stuff out there on virtual and training and company, so you'll get hits on any part of the search term. So right now we've got about 77 million results, and that's actually an awful lot, and we'll show you later when we talk about Google hacking and Google searches how you can narrow that down. Just to give you an idea of what all is out there, obviously we have the VTC.com website, and that might be the main site we're looking for, but there's also other places you might look. The reviews for VTC, their Facebook page, the LinkedIn page for VTC. So you see that all these different sites out there contain information about the virtual training company. And these are probably the most popular sites, but also feel free to dig in later on in the pages about some of these different terms that are out there buried deep, the different search results. So like you have virtual training company from Black Hat World. This is in 2008. But you can actually get information maybe that's been out there for a while on a company and now you can't find it anywhere. So you might get more relevant older information out there if you need it. It's just an example of some of the internet searching you can do. Obviously, you've done this before. And again, this is very general, and that's where footprinting starts.